And after you get your pictures,
We head back the same way we came.
yeah, stay. As you're coming down, so once you get your pictures here at the bottom.
This is part of the water system that
stay to
King
your right.
Ahab built.
So the idea.
These are part of the old original steps going down into the well. We're now at another location at the same site. This is a citadel and cultic installation.
Because of the claw. I mean,
Okay. Sheep. You gotta listen to instructions. And it's mentioned in Joshua, he had a battle down by where
Mount
we're going to
Meron, the
next.
second highest in Israel. The Hula Valley area. Again, the Hula Valley. The Hula Valley includes a film about birds. The Hula Valley is a farmland area in northern Israel. It has an abundance of fresh water. It is a major stopping off point for birds migrating along the Rift Valley that is between Asia and Africa and Europe. Originally, Lake Hula was a breeding ground for mosquitoes. It was drained in the 1950s. Then a part was reflooded. It is estimated that 500 million birds pass this way each year. Its elevation is about 230 feet. The name of this lake in the Bible is, I'll spell it, M-E-R-O-M. It has been known by other names. It appears in the Bible twice. Joshua 11:5 and 7, kings gathered there to fight against Israel. Joshua fell upon them and smote them. The movie production that we just seen about birds was about as good as I have ever seen in my entire life. It's here at this reserve.
Some kind of otter or something out there.
Here comes catfish. Yeah. The turtles over there by
Much life in the water. Turtles, otters, etc.
oh, okay.
Huge lights down there.
I know.
July or August 5. Now I
Hope you enjoyed that.
Number 2 option, so that's Schnitzel. Educational institution
Kiryat
called
Shimon.
Tel Chai. And you get a lot of salt. Not a bad flow. These are avocado trees to the left.
What we had just filmed was a couple of the
These are
headwaters
citrus.
of the Jordan.
I think.
We're now in Tel Dan.
Pretty cold. Listen to those waters. We saw.
Walking up.
It is a birch. Is that natural? It is.
40 million cubic meter.
The place of the golden calf.
And he's saying, we are not going to move 1 inch on who God is. You keep my commandments. All right, so why is this?
Again, this is where the golden calf was put.
Have a religious idea where God is not identified only by one.
Back at the golden calf area, looking out to the meadow. Mount Hermon. Correction, that was Mount, not Mount Hermon. It's a little bit more on the right.
You can name different mountains.
The nearby town there, half
Behind
is
it
in
is
Lebanon,
Mount Hermon.
half
This
is in
first
Israel.
mountain is not Mount Hermon. Okay?
Cancel the previous part I just said.
Every winter.
We're still here in Dan, and the town, which is just not far away, half is in Lebanon, half is in Israel.
Are Lebanese, but after 1674, yeah, I can't tell you what. All right, there's a group down there right now, but I stopped you here. You see this hill all by it's mountain all by itself, and the large buildings on top. Straight, look at my finger. Now this
Nimrod's Castle.
gate we're going to go by.
Abraham's Gate, or the Canaanite Gate also. Dan. Dan is mentioned in the Bible 72 times. Dan is described as the northernmost city of Israel. It was noted for its idols. One might say that to think of Dan is to think of rebellion against God. A place now referred to as Abraham's Gate is also here. Abraham traveled here to rescue Lot, Genesis 14:14. Rehoboam erected two golden calves, one in Bethel and the other in Dan. The Dan River is one of the three sources of water for the Jordan. 144,000 male virgin Jews of the tribes of Israel shall be sealed following the covenant, reference Daniel 9:27. This begins the tribulation. However, the tribe of Dan is left out. Some believe the Antichrist will come from Dan. This is Abraham's Gate. Part of Tel Dan. The seat. Loam Oaks. Up in the top part of Dan. This is all the city of Dan, part of it.
Then head to the bus. There's an exit down there.
This is the upper part. We're in the upper part of the city at this time.
1, 2, 3.
What's that? There's a beach called Wreck Beach in the University of
Chạm chút cô. Này, cái chạm. Đây là cái gì mà chạm. Chạm vô. Bơi.
fresh off the. And once again,
The Banias
that's a
River.
reasonably healthy. Be able to communicate to your folks, you know, what all was involved there.
You said this is where the flutes were played?
Yeah, the dancing and the flutes are clear to the right.
Wow.
There's also a pathway that some can climb. This goes up that direction. Get out of there. Caesarea Philippi, or Banias. It was here that Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" And Peter answered, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." Matthew 16, 15, and 16. This is an ancient Roman city near the base of Mount Hermon on the southwest side. It has a flowing spring and shrines dedicated to the Greek god Pan, which is also called Panias. It is one of the sources of the Jordan River. For the adventurous, there is a path that goes up part of the hill. A fenced gate near the top makes it impossible to go all the way. All right.
Vineyard Golan wine. If you haven't tried that, there's some really.
We're at the castle, filming downward. You get the Hoover Valley, surrounding areas. That part there is the Hoover Valley. Nimrod's Castle, or Nimrod's Fortress. This is a Muslim castle built about 1229 AD on the southern slopes of Mount Hermon. It is approximately 1/4 mile long and 500 foot wide and is about 2,600 foot above sea level. The fortress was built for the reason of guarding a major route to Damascus. It was ruined by an earthquake in the 18th century. The entrance is on Route 989 between Kiryat Shimona and Mount Hermon, about 20 minutes east of Kiryat Shimona.
Inscriptions on the stone. You see they use very large stones similar to here. Weight of each allows it to be an arch.
The stone almost ready to fall out.
Cemented up in there.
The wind up here is quite strong. Matter of fact, very strong. Getting ready to go down here.
Playing field.
Looks like some of it's ready to fall over.
Give everybody a latrine break before you go down the
Yeah,
bus?
you can go up and use it now. Now, what you get here, most likely this.
Cedar of Lebanon. This is Beer Cut Rum. It's a crater. There's Mount Hermon, tallest mountain in Israel. Part of it's also in Syria. It's kind of smothered partially in clouds.
I mentioned
This is
reincarnation.
Masadi, a Drew's town. The Mount Mental Fortress. Hermon, Israel's tallest mountain. Hermon is viewed in the Bible 13 times. It is actually a cluster of 3 summits, each with a similar height. This range extends for 93 miles in a northeast to southwest direction. It borders and is located in Syria and Lebanon and the southern part of Israel. Mount Bental and the Great Tank Battle. Mount Bental is an inactive volcano on the Golan Heights. It is about 3,142 foot above sea level. On the top is an Israeli defense stronghold. There is a good view of the Golan Heights, Mount Hermon, and part of Syria during the Yom Kippur War in 1973. One of the largest tank battles ever took place here between the attacking Syrian forces with 1,500 tanks and 1,000 artillery pieces and the Israeli forces with only 160 tanks. Though greatly outnumbered, Israel fought courageously and miraculously won the battle, but suffered large casualties. Only 7 tanks remained. The Syrians lost 900 tanks and fled. Distance, we're at a very high height. Looking off in the very far distance. It is often very windy here and sometimes very cold. The border between Syria and Israel is in that large field, the largest field with some bushes in it. This side of the town that should be able to be seen. Mount Bental and the areas we should be looking at shortly are in the Golan Heights. This is east of the Sea of Galilee.
Yeah.
We're continuing to drive along the Syrian border. Looking at the Sea of Galilee from a different angle. Heading across the Sea of Galilee. This lower part, not too far from Capernaum, is where some believe that the big windstorm may have come from. It's mentioned in the Bible. Regarding the Sea of Galilee.
Which has that Sea of Galilee.
holy name. Sing like never. He's our God. Zion's hill, salvation comes. So heaven or Shemesh, they call her to a school for He's
We hope to be going to that point later today, up in the top.
It's almost a 10-meter long boat.
The ancient boat dating from the times of Jesus.
This is the Guinnessar Museum, but it's called by others simply the Boat Museum.
Building here, excavating.
Like Notre Dame and could fully excavate the property.
I'll get it then.
Bring the fish in is the only mention we have of this place.
The boat ride across the Sea of Galilee. Most tours of Israel include a ride on the Sea of Galilee. The boat can accommodate many people. Entertainment is sometimes also featured. In some cases, if one watches the water behind the boat, there might be a surprise, including some birds following the boat. The boat usually travels to Tiberias, where a bus is waiting for them, or in some cases, it can go the opposite direction. The ancient boat and museum, also called the Jesus boat. In 1986, a fishing boat was found when the water in the Sea of Galilee was unusually low. Carbon dating of the wood and pottery found nearby gave a date of about 120 BC to 200 AD. The boat was approximately 25 foot long. It is now on display near the kibbutz, Guinnessar. A movie telling the story of the boat is also featured in the museum. Some believe this is the kind of boat Peter had and which Jesus preached from, Luke 5:1-11. We're now in the area of the Church of the Beatitudes. This here is the area of the Beatitudes. You can't say it's in this spot or that spot, but this is probably very close to it, if not it, where Jesus preached. The Mount of Beatitudes. Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount. This is the area that Jesus gave the blessings. Its exact location cannot be determined. Nevertheless, as the scriptures are examined, this traditional area that most tourists cover should be very near the actual location. The precise location is not important when compared with the message that Jesus gave. What saw a place that was before vacant of buildings, because it is believed this is the Mount of the Beatitudes. It is now covered with many buildings. There are churches, structures. There is also a pretty good view of the Sea of Galilee from this same area.
Nazareth, Jesus, about Hero Israel, and Lutheran or
The seat
Orthodox
of
churches,
Moses.
a place of respect and honor for a
Chorazin or Chorazin This was an ancient town or village located on a hill above the north side of the Sea of Galilee, about 2.5 miles from Capernaum. Jesus performed many miracles there, but they did not repent. Ruins of what is believed to be this town cover an area of about 25 acres. It is mentioned in both Matthew 11:21 and Luke 10:13. In both cases, the words of Jesus were, "Woe unto thee, Chorazin." This is more of the city in the distance that has not yet been excavated. Again, more of the city. That hasn't been excavated yet. Those cute little animals we showed, they're called conies. The Sea of Galilee, also other names. It is approximately 13 miles long and 8 miles wide. Maximum depth is 141 feet. It is approximately 693 feet below sea level and is the lowest freshwater lake in the world. Much of Jesus' ministry was centered here. Peter lived in Capernaum on the northwest side of the sea. Jesus calmed the storm and walked on the sea. The Jordan River flows into the northern part of the Sea of Galilee and exits from the southern coast. It flows to the Dead Sea. Bethsaida was on the northern side. It is a great place for swimming, boating, and water sports. Boat rides are also available. A church built where they believe the 5,000 were fed in this area. As we're walking, it's sycamore trees. Traditional place where Peter was commanded to feed my lambs and feed my sheep. Again, the area of Karima where supposedly Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Traditional place where Jesus was told Peter to feed my sheep. The previous parts, this is the traditional place where Jesus was told Peter to feed my sheep at this church. Going down to Capernaum. Capernaum is in the Bible 16 times. It was the home of Peter, Andrew, James, John, Matthew, and later Jesus, reference Matthew 4:13. It was a fishing village located on the northwest shore of the Sea of Galilee. Population, some say, was about 1,500 in Jesus' day. A Catholic church has been built to mark the so-called traditional site of Peter's house. 2 synagogues had been excavated one built upon another. Matthew 8, 5-9, a centurion that called himself unworthy came there to ask help for his servant. Matthew 11, 23 and 24. Jesus said, "And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted in the heavens, shalt be brought down to hell.